Hi, this is Mr. Word, and this is Algebra Do Now 31.3 video key. And let's go for this. So number one, we want to factor x squared plus 6x plus 9. And this is a special case, but you could factor it without remembering that. It'll certainly make your life easier if you do, because 9 is a square and x squared is a square, and 6x is 2 times x, the square root of x squared, times 3, which is the square root of 9. So what we can just do is we can say x plus 3 times x plus 3. We can just write that as x plus 3 squared. So x times x, 3 times 3, that gets us the x squared and the 9. And then x times 3 and x times 3 gets us the 6x. There's 3 x's that are going on there. Now we're going to factor this one. We've got x squared plus 10x plus 25. And that's going to break down into x plus 5 times x plus 5. If you didn't recognize it as a special case, which this is, it's a perfect square, you might have noticed that 25 has two factors that add up to 10, 5 and 5, and that will do the job. And then you'll end up with x plus 5 times x plus 5, which is x plus 5 squared. Now let's consider this. If you had x squared plus 6x plus 1 equals negative 4, what could you possibly add to both sides so that you could factor the left side into x plus 3 squared? Well, if we go back, we have something that factors into x plus 3 squared, and it's x squared plus 6x, just like this, but instead of plus 1, it's plus 9. So we need to add something that would take that 1 and turn it into a 9, and we have to do it to both sides. So we would add 8 to both sides, and then we'd end up with x squared plus 6x plus 9 equals, well, 8 plus negative 4 is be positive 4. Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. Let's take a look at this one. X squared plus 10x plus 20 equals 11. And what would we add to both sides so that you could factor the left side into x plus 5 squared? Let's see what x plus 5 squared came from. It came from x squared plus 10x plus 25 instead of plus 20. So we need to add 5 here, and we have to add 5 there as well. So add 5 to both sides, and we get x squared plus 10x plus 25 now equals 11 plus 5, which will be 16. If in 3a you came up with adding 8 to both sides, that works pretty well, and you would have ended up with this. And then you could factor that into this. So this here, I can just copy pasta this down here. Okay, this can factor into this. Okay, factors into that. Now, let's get the square root of both sides and solve for x. Well, the square root of x plus 3 squared is just x plus 3. The square root of 4 is 2, but also the square root of 4 is negative 2. So we need to solve both of those. So if I subtract 3 from both sides, here I'll end up, so I'm going to say minus 3 and minus 3, and then over here I'll also be subtracting 3 from both sides. So let's take care of that too. So if I subtract 3 from both sides, I'll end up with x equals negative 1. And over here I'll end up with x equals negative 5. And now I have the x-intercepts, or the solutions, for this quadratic situation here. Let's take a look at the next one. So the next one, we had x squared. We added 5 to both sides, and we ended up with that. And we could factor it like this. X plus 5 squared equals 16. Let's get the square root of both sides. X plus 5, the square root of x plus 5 squared is x plus 5, and the square root of 16 is 4, and also negative 4. And that is what you get. So let's subtract 5 from both sides. here, and we also want to subtract 5 from both sides as well. And so x is going to equal, -1 again. And over here, x is going to equal -9. And those are the solutions for this, or roots, or x-intercepts, or zeros. I hope that was helpful.